Do you want to talk real estate? I mean, we have a few minutes. We can get off here. We can talk for a second. It's up to you.
Let's do it. Let's talk for
There
a
would
bit.
be more.
Yeah.
I'm game because I'm still just struggling with phone calls. And I mean, I can make as many, but searching the research is the one that kills me because it takes from like one web page to the other, make sure and who's and what and what. And so I can see myself, spending between 15, 20 minutes researching one phone call, one lead. And so I don't know if I'm doing things right, if I'm doing things wrong, or what am I doing that, I mean, yes, I'm doing 100 phone calls a week, but it just takes a lot. So any any input would really be helpful.
Sure. So it sounds like you're doing a lot. You're doing calls, but you're spending a lot of time on like the research aspect of everything. So are you researching before you call?
Yes, I am actually. It's like, and it was one of those that the county auditor, the county recorder, the clerk of courts, the sheriff's website, Zillow, just to make sure which is what, if they have liens, if they don't have liens. So does that, I don't know if I'm putting way too much energy into this or not.
Sure. Yeah, I understand. I mean, we all come when we first get started, we all wonder if we're spending the right time on the right things. I would say that it's definitely matters, like, if somebody owes money or not. But I'd say at first, when you're first getting started, don't look too deep into the list. Don't try to find gold. Just call everybody on that list if you're pulling it. What list are you calling right now? Like you say 100 calls. Who are you calling exactly?
And a lot of the are pre-foreclosures here in Ohio. And I'm not only to Columbus, I'm just doing like throughout the entire state of Ohio.
Okay.
Pre-foreclosures, and some are from the sheriffs. So I mean, I have like two lists, and I'm really thinking about investing into a software also kind of like the deal machine to at least get more leads and more people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, more people is helpful, but it sounds like you're talking to people. You're just maybe spending a lot of time researching on the front end. So if you cut that out, and you focus on the people you're talking to already, do you think you might be able to pull something out of that? Like, do you think out of the people you're already talking to, there might be people you're missing and you're not maybe like closing or qualifying?
Not really. Because I'm not really a good salesperson, and I know it's all about their story, which is, but since they don't know me, they're not very receptive, and so that's kind of trying to, cross that barrier. And so I do follow up every every week and every 2 weeks, and I mean it's automatic, no, 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 no. It's like, hey, are you interested? No. So I still trying to get my speech deal before they say, hey, by the way, I'm tying you with so and such, the realty company. It's a lot of work, more work than I expected, actually.
Yeah, it is.
But it is what it is. It's just trying to get the yes. I mean, I have two possible leads. I'm just not doing, and I have one commercial property that I'm looking into, which is a totally different ballgame that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. When you say a potential lead, what do you mean by that? Like, what is a potential lead?
No, potential seller. Let me clarify. I have a
Okay.
potential seller. But she's like, no, I need to talk with my husband, but I hear her story and they're struggling. So that's one of my I'm crossing my fingers and praying everything that I can. I'm like, let her sell be a seller. So
I like it. Can you ask the next time you talk to her, could you ask if maybe her and her husband could have a conversation together?
that's what I did. And I was like, well,
Okay.
if it's okay, I'm like, if you want, we can, even ask my fiance, I'm like, hey, and I'm like, we're in this together. So maybe if my fiance is more the number, but of course now he can't walk because of his lumbar issues. So it's like, I don't like, I want to sit down with them. And so we're, we're headed.
You're heading there.
I may have something going on.
Okay. Well, we build these pipelines. That's the whole
Mm-hmm.
part of this business is we get a hold of these potential sellers, we put them in our buckets and we reach out to them for later and we look for that life event that David talks about all the time, coach on here. He talks about life events happening. And my biggest thing when I'm talking to sellers is, okay, I want them to know that I'm here to create a solution with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to pressure them. I'm not here just to buy their house. Like, can we sit down together and create a solution together,
Yeah.
and give them those options? So just keep doing that. Keep
Okay.
showing up. Keep being consistent. But you also have to, be a little bit stern sometimes too, and let them know, like, hey, I can't keep calling. Like, look, like I got a lot going on. I'm busy. I'm trying to buy a house. It's okay if you don't want to sell, but we got to figure something out. Like, you can't also just play hide and seek
Okay.
you know. And hide and seek is when they're like, "Yeah, I'm interested, but come and find me."
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
trying to run around and trying to find the seller and wonder where they went. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do that too long. But you do want to follow up and stay consistent and always take these notes. And, if that seller says, well, I got to talk to my husband first. The next time you call, one of the first things you should say is, hey, I know the last time we talked, you said you needed to talk to your husband. What
Mm-hmm.
happened? Always finish that, start that follow up with how you finished the last call.
Mm-hmm.
That's my follow up tip for you, because that's all this is, occasionally you
Mm-hmm.
run into somebody that's hair's on fire, they're on level 10 and ready to sell today,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time it takes time.
It takes time. Now, question for you. What would you suggest I mean, I know there's an amount of follow that we can do, but I'm going to say, how many times or how long should we follow up?
Until they tell you to stop calling, until they block you, or until they sell it to somebody else.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. Even sometimes if they say don't call back, I'll still give them some space and wait a few months and call them back. Because sometimes it's
Okay.
just a bad day,
Hmm.
unless they're very, very particular, like I'm going to sue you if you call me again or something, then, to leave those people alone. But yeah, me and David, like every year, so I mean, 2 years worth of follow-up sometimes with some of these houses.
Hmm.
Like, I'll
Hmm.
go out, I'll give an offer, they'll tell me no, and then I stay in touch for 2 years. And my follow-ups will be phone calls, text, email,
Hmm.
direct mail pieces. Sometimes I'll lose touch with people and I'll send them a postcard if they stop
Hmm.
answering my call, and and it ignites them during those life event times.
Yeah, we've gotten leads before, like even Travis and I, we've been doing stuff for about 3 years together. But even before we were doing stuff together,
Hmm.
we'll get a lead on a house and I'll be like, man, that house looks familiar. And I'll go back and look and I looked at it 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It'd
Okay.
come back around again. And, I mean, so yeah,
Hmm.
it's a long game sometimes.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is Tara. I'd like to interject here as a new investor myself. Last summer, I think it was, there was a vacant home on the main road. I live off of the main, it's not a highway, but there's a main road and I live off of that main road. And I was starting to, get my head into the real estate stuff and investing. And I saw this house, and Rusty and I were like, my better half, we're like, oh my gosh, look at that. And, I looked it up, I did all the things on it, and nobody was there, but I found the owner. Well, it just so happened that this RV, a big old, like, well, it was like a Winnebago,
Mm.
showed up one day and it was overgrown. The grass was overgrown and all the things. And that was the first time I knocked on a door. And I knocked on the house door at first and nobody answered, but I knocked on the RV. And I was like, "Hi, I'm looking for property in the area. Would you be interested in selling?" Well, the guy told me he lives in, I think he's in Alabama. I'm in West Virginia for those that don't know. So he said, "No, I'm not interested in selling." He said, "I think I'm going to make this a summer home." And I was like, "Okay." So what I've done with that is I'm watching it, and he's not back yet. Right? I'm giving him an opportunity. It's all grown up again. I'm giving him that opportunity to come back,
Mm.
this summer. Um, And I'm going to knock on his door again if he shows up, or I'm going to make a call or do something because, and even another, the first property I got under contract was also right down the road from me. And coach can tell you about creative financing and things. And I didn't get a cash offer for him. I got a creative financing offer for him. Um, he wasn't happy with those terms, so we terminated the contract. But I'm still watching that house.
Mm,
I know he's behind on his taxes. I know he's in a bad way.
That's a hard
Um,
duty.
so it's just kind of like monitor, like watch. And it may be, and this is where I've struggled is the patience game.
mm,
Like, you know, just I think you just have to have patience. Keep doing your due diligence, keep making all the calls, doing all the things, but there's things that are going to come back. And I really believe that there are some opportunities where we plant that seed,
mm-hmm.
and say, but yeah, it can be draining. You're calling all the time, you're doing your due diligence, but eventually something I think will come through.
Thank
Um,
you.
eventually, but even like you were saying, Travis, with the follow ups and stuff, I'm like, I'm still watching. Like I looked on Zillow. There was the second property that I offered a contract to back in March, I think it was. I proposed a contract to them, and they're like, absolutely not. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But also, they were they were looking to move to a closer area where I live. They weren't too far from me, but and I was like, okay, they wanted to rent at first, okay, and then maybe consider purchasing and this and that. So I was like, I know people, I have other investors that have rental property. So I've kept in touch with them. Like I send them those rental opportunities. I saw them sell their house, like just like within the last 2 weeks, because I was monitoring them and not to like stalk them and be ugly, but like, just say what, and you know what I did? I sent them a message and said, congrats on the sale of your home. Um, and stuff. So I really think those, but just making those connections, if you do get somebody to finally pick up the phone, if you do get something, I think just planting those seeds has helped me. And I'm still struggling to make a dime myself, but it's just, I think in the long run, like Travis and Coach have said, and Travis, you've even said before, too, and different calls that, it could take, well, you guys just said it now, you might be 2 years down the line before you hear back from somebody, but in those follow-ups, like you said, even if you're doing the phone calls in, you're not getting anything from that, or they don't want you to call anymore. Well, I'm still going to watch that house down this road, and if I don't see him this summer, I'm going to either stop by if he's there, or I'm going to send him a mailer, or send him an email or something and say, because just keep those options open. But it can be frustrating. From my previous career, I was used to pretty much, I mean, I worked my butt off and did a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of things, and I juggled a lot, but the results were much quicker. you know,
Mm,
they were much quicker then, and like Travis had mentioned before in other calls, that you might go a minute without nothing, or a month, or this, and all of a sudden, then things just start rolling. They just start rolling. So I'm learning the patience game and um, just continuing that follow up. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thanks, Tara.
Yeah. I love hearing Tara talk about her journey because she's so open and vulnerable that most people aren't, to talk about everything. The follow-up's key. That's it. I mean, you definitely want to try to get a contract on that first call if you can, but it's rare. It's rare, but it happens. I'd say every once in a while you run into a seller that's ready to go right now and they're ready to sign a contract today. But most people want to think about it. Most people want to look over their options. They want to make sure they're not getting taken advantage of. They don't know you. They don't know what you're doing, and that's grandma's house, or that's my house that I live in that's going under foreclosure, and they hold that tight to them. So with follow up, you're building trust. And something else, try to give gifts, try to do things. If somebody tells you that they like a certain, I don't know, a certain donut, Stop and order them donuts, or if they like roses, send them a thing of roses. I know it sounds funny, but send them a mailer and spray it with some really good perfume and make it smell really good, and write it in pretty font and cursive and put flowers on it. All this stuff matters, I think. I think it makes you stick out. And in a world where they're getting 30 other mailers or 30 other phone calls, you have to stick out.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. With it, I know it's frustrating up front when you're getting started in this business, but I want you to understand about this business. This is an apex business. You're at the top of the food chain. You're playing in a world at the top of the food chain as far as income and wealth. If you look at millionaires, billionaires, whoever you want to look at, you'll find that most all of them own a lot of real estate in their investments and portfolio. So there's no other business in the world, I think, that you can create wealth quicker and cash flow quicker than in the real estate business. It's an
Yeah.
apex business and it requires apex skills. And so it takes time to develop, those apex skills to really climb the ladder and get to the top of the game. So don't be frustrated by it. Just know that there's gold at the end of the rainbow in this
Mm.
business. Develop the skills and the deals will follow.
I I mean, I'm going a decade in, and I couldn't tell you how hard it's been for me, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I mean, you guys might watch me on here and hear me talk. Oh, he's smooth, he knows what, but I'm telling you, it's hard. Every day I'm working to be the best version of Travis Goodwin that I can be, the best person for these people in front of me, these sellers, you guys, right? Like it's hard to position yourself and be and hold yourself to that responsibility to these sellers because this is their house. This is one of the probably the largest purchase they've ever made or the largest sale they'll ever do. So we have to really keep that in mind.
Yep. Got to develop her skills.
You
Yeah.
But
And
all right.
the longer I've been in the business, the luckier I've been. And that's just from developing skills and developing people skills because this is a people skills business. You got to learn people skills. Buyers, sellers, agents, contractors, insurance, but all of it's people skills and interacting with people and stuff. So yeah, but just keep your eye on the prize. It's tough now, but it's going to get better every year.
Yeah.
You'll make more money and you'll do better year over year over year. I guarantee it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
As long as you do the work and you put yourself around good people. Good people matters just as much as the skills you develop.
Mhm.
Well, they say you're the sum of the five people you spend most of your time with. So your network's your net worth. And so stay around good people that's doing what you want to do and stay around people. Don't listen to people that are not where you want to be or where you're going. There's all kinds of people with advice, but find people that are actually doing deals that are making money or doing these things every day. Follow those people. And there's all kinds of hucksters out there doing foolishness on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, the frustrating. I mean, I've met several people that are like, oh, you like in 2 weeks we can like do a closing and that's it. And it's like so easy. It's like, it's snapping fingers. I'm like, yeah, but you've done it for how long? And so I'm like, oh, well, with this system, of course, always trying to sell their system.
Right. Yeah.
The real people that really, they're working. And like I've tried to connect with two people that are actually wholesaling here in Columbus and never never received a call back, never. I mean, it's hard to even network. I mean, like I've been in a couple of networking events here in Columbus, and everybody's yes, 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 hi, hi. We're here to connect, and then once you leave, then then you're gone. You're still alone.
That's why, Tanya, if you go out here and you do the opposite, you'll stick out. Because if they're doing that to you at a real estate event, what do you think they're doing to the sellers?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they're not giving back to you and building a relationship with you, they're not building a relationship with these sellers. So you got to be the one that does differently and you'll outshine them. That's how you beat the competition,
Yeah.
you know?
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right, guys.
as a real estate broker for a long time, Travis and I had this conversation. I was a real estate broker for 27 years, 22, 23. And my number one complaint was, what do you think it was? Agents won't call me back.
Mm,
Number one, constant, constant. So I enacted a policy in my company, and I had part-time agents, maybe they're school teachers or doing other things. Those were the
mm,
agents that worked me to death because they were never available to take phone calls. They wouldn't call people back. The customers land on my lap. So I started saying, okay, here's what's going to happen. You know, you don't call people back. They call this office. I'm going to take your listing. I'm going to close the deal and I'll give you a referral
oh,
because I had to close them anyway. And so that
yeah.
got people. But I'm just saying, from the real estate perspective and all those agents all these years, the same complaint over and over. But those agents that were making, 150, $200,000 a year, their customers didn't call me
Yeah.
ever.
Okay.
It was the people that were making $17,000 a year in the real estate business, their customers called me.
Mm,
So there you go. It's all about contact. And it's the same in the investment business. You got wholesalers and different people that are trying to make a quick buck and just making a call here or there, but not following up. So if you do that, success will find you as you move along.
okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, all right, guys. Congratulations again, Boyd. I'm sorry. I
And
wish we could give away to all you guys, but we could only do one this time. But maybe next time around we can do more. I'd love to. Um, but all right, David, you want to lead us out here?
all right, everybody, thanks for coming, and we'll be back at it next week. And we got some really good shows coming up, some really great people. And for those of you that maybe didn't see Jen and Joe Delafave yesterday, I mean that whole show was just fire.
Mm,
And if I were you, I would go to our YouTube channel and take a look and watch it because it was really great stuff. I mean, sometimes we have a lot of calls and all of it's good information, but every now and then you get those calls and you're like, wow, that was uh, that was gold. So go check it out. Great stuff. We appreciate you following us and being part of our community. Until next time, solve a problem, get a payday. Thank you for coming.
thank you.
Thank you.
Right there.
Yeah, bye bye.